jambalaya today, and I don't claim for this to be a super authentic because I've only been to New Orleans like a couple times, but I've tried it. I've tried making it, or I have made this quite a few times, and pardon my language, but it's pretty freaking good. So we're gonna talk now about the ingredients. So for our proteins, we got a lot of them here. We got a pound, no, it's actually 2.5 pounds of a chicken thigh. I have been using chicken breast, but chicken thigh is gonna be a lot tastier because it's more fat. And then now we have the andouille sausage. And you want an andouille sausage that's got like some good fat in there because that's gonna be a lot of flavor as well. And this is a pound of andouille sausage, and then we have about a pound of shrimp. This has already been thawed and detailed and everything such as that. As far as veggies, most important is the holy trinity for Cajun cooking is bell pepper, celery, and onion. Okay, about an onion, like one whole onion, one bell pepper, and a few stalks of celery. Then about 4 Roma tomatoes, just roughly chopped. And I like to have a jalapeno in there because it just has some extra heat to it. And then we have a few cloves of garlic. Can't have too much garlic. And this is our spice mixture. I will put the total kind of amounts and what is in here on the screen, but you can see it's kind of, we got quite a bit in there. So we're gonna use all of this. And now I'm gonna start the the stove, and we're gonna get cooking. Okay, we have a big pot heated up to about medium high. We are going to brown our chicken and our andouille sausage. We're gonna first start with our andouille sausage. Just gonna put a little bit of olive oil in there. You don't need a lot of oil because this already has a lot of fat that'll render out. So we're just gonna wait for that to get browned, and we'll take it out when we are done. So now we have a good brown. That's what we're looking for right there, and we're gonna take it out, and we're gonna add the chicken to that. These chicken thighs have been marinated in the spice rub that we have, and so we're just gonna put it back in. I've only added just a little bit more oil, but the sausage had a lot of oil in it that it released. So we're just gonna put this in. Here, nice sizzle. And we're just gonna let that brown for a few minutes. Don't really need to touch it too much, just maybe flip it once. And then we'll take it out. It does not have to be cooked all the way through. Okay, the chicken is now browned. It doesn't look the most appetizing right now. It's okay that it's not cooked all the way through because we're gonna finish cooking it when we are kind of simmering it. And it's okay that it's not cooked all the way through. Just getting it a little browned. Cool. Now comes the fun part, because what we're gonna do is add the veggies, the onion, pepper, and celery, and it's fun because it's gonna be starting to smell really, really good. And we're gonna let this cook down a bit, and after a few minutes, we're gonna add the spices. The spices are gonna make it smell really, really good. I wish you could smell this because it smells incredible. And you see that we have this, looks like it's kind of burned stuff. That's fine. We want to keep that because when that comes up, when we have some like liquidy like type stuff like tomatoes, that's going to come up, and that's a lot of flavor right there. So we have our tomatoes, we have our peppers, onions, and celery. What we're going to do from here is add our spice mixture, and we're just going to add all of it. Okay, we can always add more later if we find that it's not enough. And we're just going to let that cook for a minute, and then we're going to add our garlic and our jalapeno. Garlic and jalapeno really don't need to cook much at all. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil now that this is cooked. I'm gonna add oil so that I give a spot for my jalapeno and my garlic to cook on. Not the most efficient way of doing this. And again, that's only going to be another minute, maybe less than that. Just want to get that incorporated through. And now that it's been about a minute since we've added the garlic and the jalapeno, we're going to get this these tomatoes. And these tomatoes will release their liquids, and now it's going to start to get that brown stuff off the bottom. That stuff is called the fond. Now we have 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Ish. Add one a little bit more there. Mix it through. Next we're going to add 2 cups of rice. Just toast that for a bit. And then we have 3 cups of chicken stock. I like to do a 1.5 times liquid to rice ratio. These seems to work pretty well for me. I might need to add a little bit more, but we'll see later. It might be fine. Okay, after that, I have 2 bay leaves and some fresh thyme straight from our garden. Right there. I'll just throw that in. And at this point, I can add the meat.
Ugh. Oh.
This is a mess. And our sausage. Okay. And this is just gonna cook until the rice is about done. And maybe for the last 5 to 10 minutes, we will put the shrimp in. And the shrimp, you don't want to do it too long because overcooked shrimp is like rubbery and weird, and we don't want that. After, say, maybe about 15 minutes when the rice is cooked, I'm gonna taste it and see if I need to add any more seasonings, and then we will do that in about 15 minutes. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes, and you can see obviously the liquid has been absorbed by the rice, and it's actually a perfect amount. It's not supposed to be real soupy. It's going to be even taking in a bit more of the liquid. So we're going to taste it and taste the rice to see if it's got a good texture. And it tastes really good. It needs a little bit more salt.
How can you tell that it needs more salt, Nick?
It just tastes, I mean, you can tell that if it is a little bit bland, like the flavors are good, but they're not quite amplified like you want them to be. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention when it's simmering with the rice is every few minutes you want to stir the rice just so it doesn't get stuck to the bottom. And also, I turned it down to low so the rice doesn't like rapidly boil. So we just simmer it, and the rice has absorbed most of the liquid, and I think it's going to be good. Let's taste it. Should still be a little al dente. A little bit, that's good. At this point, you can add a little bit more heat. If you want more in-your-face heat, you can just add some cayenne. So I'll do that a little bit. A little bit of cayenne for more like a punch in the face. And then we can add a little bit of smoky heat with the paprika. So this is the part where you really taste it, and if you have a good flavor palette, then you can kind of decide what it is that you need to add. Like I said, smoky heat, you can add some paprika, and a more like direct heat, you can add some cayenne. Or if you just want a general more flavor, you can add some salt, which I don't think it needs, so we're just going to leave it be. And the last thing we need to do, I haven't forgotten about it, is add our shrimp. And so now that the rice is almost done, we will add our shrimp, and we're going to cover it so the shrimp just kind of gets a good residual heat going. And once the shrimp is cooked all the way through, it'll take about 5-7 minutes. We're going to be done.